So I get this question asked a lot. What happens to inmates who rape other inmates in prison? Now, it's a very weird situation. They're known as booty bandits in prison. Yes, they're fucking scary, right? Now, knowing that convicts hate rapists, child molesters, pedophiles, anyone who hurts women and children in these sick, demonic ways, gets stabbed, extorted, beaten, killed, whatever you can think of. The officers help, inmates, everybody goes after them. Hits are put on them. They don't have a long time to live. And if they do, their life is miserable. They're not eating, they're getting poisoned. It's treachery. But the sad part about it is these booty bandits a lot of times get housed alone, in 24-hour lockdown and DC confinement. And what they'll do, the corrections officers, the corrupt ones, say they have a problem with an inmate. For example, Ricky Martin. Look the story up on Google. He was more confused than a billy goat on AstroTurf. He was in his early 20s. He was trying to be a gangster one day, trying to go to church the next, but he would mouth off to the officers and they didn't like him. So what do? They get him put in the cell with this notorious rapist, booty bandit, killer who's not supposed to have a cellmate to teach him a lesson. They walk away for 30, 45 minutes. Ricky Martin, who goes home in 3 months in his early 20s, gets beaten, raped, and ultimately killed because they wanted to teach him a lesson. But don't get it twisted. The worst thing that I've ever seen happen to a booty bandit was this. He was trying to extort somebody, threatening them with the words, trying to beat him up, and basically saying, look, you're going to bring this dope in and have your girlfriend's friend bring me dope in also. And the dude was so smooth mentally that this booty bandit was trying to extort that he was like, all right, man, all right. But little did the booty bandit know that this dude was reaching out to his girl on a cell phone, telling her what's going on, and said, listen, when you make the balloons and that girl gives it to him, make sure there's holes in them. And what do I mean by that? So when you have visitation, people will get Skittles or M&Ms and they'll get balloons, tiny little balloons that are the same colors. And a girl will go into the bathroom, pull it out of, wherever she keeps it concealed, and either have it hidden in her hand or her mouth and, kiss him or hand it to him, and he'll act like he's eating the M&Ms and swallow them and then get to the dorm and poop them out and make the money. Well, what he told his family to do and the girl to do is when she goes into the bathroom to take them out and put tiny little holes in them, just enough to where when he swallows them, they'll open up in his body. It was heroin, K2, all types of stuff. I think they even poisoned one. She comes out of the bathroom. I think she had him in her hand or something like that. It was a corrupt prison, so the guards really weren't looking for anything because they were part of the play too. They were getting paid to look the other way. She hands them to him as he's eating the M&Ms, and he's popping one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. And they bust open in his belly purposely. And within 45 minutes of that visit, dude starts having a seizure, ultimately dies right there in the visitation floor. That's the art of war. Be strong when you're weak and be weak when you're strong. Then you have one of my closest friends, I consider a brother, named Spawn. If you haven't heard his full story, go check it out lower on my page. He basically got tried by a booty bandit. Dude was doing it, just literally grooming him for the next step. They get transferred to the same prison. He ends up catching the guy in the chow hall, stabs the booty bandit so much his intestines are coming out. I was right there, blood. I can still smell the blood to this day. He went in, Spawn, with 3 years, and now has 27 more years to do, and doesn't regret it for a second, because you're either going to be a victim or a warrior in prison. But you also have the organizations that hate these motherfuckers. You can't be part of an organization if you're a booty bandit. If you have any type of weird shit like that going on, you not only cannot be part of it, but if they find out that you claim their organization and you're doing this type of stuff, it's mandatory death sentence. So what they do is they tell them to go collect money from a weaker dude because obviously the guy's going to be scared to death. You know, a weaker guy that owes money to an organization is already scared, and you're sending a booty bandit, he's going to pay that money immediately. And what they'll do is they'll collect the money, and then they'll step to the dude that cleared his debt out of pure fear of getting raped or even worse, and say, listen, we're going to get this dude away from you. And the booty bandit has no idea that this is being a double play. And they'll be like, please, please, man, he won't stop. And what they'll do is they'll gain the booty bandit's trust again, call him over and say, we need you to do another mission. What is it this time? And they'll tell him to go here at this time and do this with that person and get this money. But really, they'll have about 3 or 4 inmates waiting. They've been paid to hit this dude up and stab him, slice him, beat him, ultimately, and try and kill him. So it's not respected. It's disgusting. But the problem is the COs use it as a way to discipline inmates they don't like, or just hurt inmates they don't like. And they're predators. They go after the weak. You show any weakness to them, they're coming for you. And in the worst way possible. But what happened to Ricky Martin was probably the worst thing that I've ever seen in prison, as far as just a tragedy. That man went home in 3 months, and those officers put him in the cell with the most notorious rapist, killer, locked him in the cell in DC confinement, 24-hour lockdown, and walked away for 30 minutes while this man was raped and beaten to death. It's a dirty game on the inside. But stay out, stay free. Us.